Celtic are held at home by Bruges, and Mr. Champions League, Hans Anaken, gets a point at Parkhead. I had to start, Jules, with that horrible goal to concede by Cameron Carter-Vickers.
Yeah, I mean, I feel for him. If you're a young player, or even not just a young player, never pass the ball without looking where your goalkeeper is, and certainly don't pass the ball toward, like, that can go in the goal. Massive miscommunication, misunderstanding, whatever you want to call it, between Kasper Schmeichel and Carter-Vickers. In the end, Celtic get a point. I think they got even a bit lucky to get that point because I thought Bruges were really good on the night. Great goal by Maeda to make it 1-1. Really, really good goal. Really good goal. But that's a missed opportunity for Celtic at home.
Bruges, I think, are actually a good side. I think they're
doing a great job.
Yeah, it's easy to underrate them. But the interesting thing was, it was reported that it was so loud you just couldn't hear each other. So it was a pressing. You should go to YouTube and check this out. But basically, it's a pressing action. They're trying to pass from the back. Celtic, by the way, not used to being pressed, obviously, given that they play in the SPL, and which is not the Saudi Pro League. It's a Scottish Premier League.
That's right.
But they've obviously worked on this. It's simply that Schmeichel runs out to receive the ball at the near post or just outside the near post.
Yeah.
Cameron Vickers doesn't know that he's there. And one of the explanations, and they are talking and shouting to each other. One explanation I heard is Celtic Park is just so freaking loud because those fans are
That's
so
what Schmeichel
noisy.
said, but Carter Vickers just has to look where Schmeichel is. The talking is just not enough, I think. It's a shame for them, but yeah. Gab, it's Peter Bosch, so we won't get too excited and carried away. But how about PSV Eindhoven's comeback at home against Shakhtar Donetsk?
So Shakhtar Donetsk go 2-0 up. And Peter Bosch is absolutely furious.
Yeah.
Now, they made it 2-1 in the 86th minute. They end up winning 3-2. Ricardo Pepi scoring the winner again after his hat trick at the weekend. Yeah. Man is in fuego. But I will say this. To me, Peter Bosch's reaction says it all. The goal goes in. It's 3-2. Everybody's celebrating. Peter Bosch is still sitting on the bench with his arms crossed, and he is looking grumpy. Yeah. He is fuming. And you know what, Peter? I know I've given you so much stick over the years. I like this about you because you should not be happy at the goals you conceded. Yeah. You should not be happy at needing this comeback. And by the way, it's a very lucky comeback because I think it was the goal that made it 2-1, or maybe it was a 2-2. The goal was
Tillman, the first one, the free kick.
No, the Riesnick one where the goalkeeper basically pulls the ball into his own goal.
Yeah,
and I really feel for the keeper there. This was not quite as bad as Safonov, but it wasn't far off. He doesn't kind of realize where he is. He pulls the ball into him, and in so doing, he pulls it across the line. But yeah, not a good goal. And I think for Shakhtar also, when Pedro Henrique got sent off, a little harshly, I thought, that changed the game. Red Star Belgrade come from behind to destroy Stuttgart 4-1. Jules, this was a little out of the blue.
Completely, and Stuttgart taking the lead as well with Demirovic after a few five minutes or so. And I didn't see this one coming. And they kept being open on counter-attack and attacking transition from a good Red Star Belgrade team. Really, Silas was on fire. NDI as well, Maximovic. It was good. And Silas, the former Stuttgart player, obviously, who scored the first goal to make it 1-1 and really started the demolition of Stuttgart. I mean, the lack of reaction from Hunes and Stuttgart was also quite interesting because it looked like there was nothing he could do to just change the way the game was going, and they kept being punished each time. Not really the kind of stuff that Stuttgart used to do.
I think Red Star Belgrade have some really good individual players.
They're a good team. According to reports, the hearing into Manchester City's 115 charges is almost over. And now both sides are preparing their closing arguments, Gab. Does this mean that we will get a resolution soon?
Well, there's very, very few leaks coming out of this. One of the leaks is that the hearing will take about 10 weeks. And lo and behold, it's been 10 weeks. So if this is accurate, they'll have the closing arguments, then they'll go away. And these being lawyers who charge by the hour, presumably, they'll take a long time to think about it. What's interesting to me is that while it's entirely possible that we will get a resolution to this before Christmas, immediately there's like a counter leak saying that, well, yes, but then if City lose, then they'll appeal. And if the Premier League lose, they'll appeal.
And that can take up to a year, no?
I mean, that can take up to a year. And I'm kind of like, oh my God. Like, seriously? Like, how much longer is this going to drag on? No, but seriously, is this why Pep extended his contract? Because he's like, either way, no matter whether we win or lose, there's going to be another appeal. Yeah. I absolutely hate this. Lamine Yamal wins the 2024 Golden Boy, the award given to Europe's top under-21 player. Not a surprise, right, Jules? Wait, did Real Madrid all stay home because Arda Güler didn't win?
Oh my God, that's a good
Just wanted
point.
to check.
I'll check this out for you. I mean, the most one-sided trophy, award, whatever you want. He won. I'm lucky and privileged to be one of the voters.
You're on the jury.
I'm the jury, yeah. And I voted for Lamine Yamal, obviously, with Warren Zaïre-Emery being still quite high in my ranking. But yeah.
Actually, how many actually shed the light. You're not a Ballon d'Or voter yet, but you do get to vote for this. How does it work? How many players can you choose?
Your top 5.
And can you share who you voted for other than Lamine Yamal?
Yes, if you give me a second.
Oh, he needs to check his phone.
Yeah, because it was a couple of months ago, maybe. So I need to find the.
But I think we're all in agreement. Lamine Yamal. There's no way anybody else is winning this award. Not because there aren't other ridiculously good players under the age of 21 out there, but simply because he's Lamine Yamal and he's been phenomenal. And Spain won the Euros.
Yeah. So mine were Lamine Yamal, Pau Kubasi, Warren Zaïre-Emery, Kobbie Mainoo, and Kenan Yildiz.
Interesting. No Arda Güler in there.
No in my top 5.
All righty. So that'll be Florentino on the phone.
Sorry, Florentino. Sorry. It's nearly December and Chelsea still don't have a shirt sponsor, Gab. How big a blow is this for them?
When Chelsea related quick hit, I thought you were going to ask me about former Chelsea star Frank Lampard Jr.
Frank Lampard had a job. Good for him.
I don't know if it's been confirmed yet. He's the new Coventry City boss.
Yeah, in the Championship, your favorite league.
On his way back. Are Coventry City going to come up? Are they likely to?
I mean, I don't think so. They're quite far away from the playoff. But last season, obviously, came really close.
Did they? All right. Maybe one day. He replaces Mark Robbins. See, former Manchester United striker Mark Robbins, right?
Yes.
There you go. See, I know my championship.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you asked about the shirt sponsors. I know this is what you really want to talk about. So the reason this is relevant, not just that it's odd to see a team without a shirt sponsor and not by choice, it's that Chelsea had budgeted reportedly 60 million in income from their shirt sponsor this season. And that is what they're asking. Now, obviously, nobody wants to kind of undersell their sponsorship. The thing is, it's now nearly December, and they don't have a shirt sponsor. They've been in talks with people have offered. They haven't come close to the 60 million. This is all money they're not getting. If somebody comes in now, they're not going to pay 60 million. They're going to pay it prorated over the season. So there's going to be another hole in their finances, which, they may not have budgeted for. And again, more issues with financial sustainability potentially on the doorstep.
Last season already, remember, it took them a while until late in September, to get
Infinite Athlete.
Very memorable sponsor.
Yeah, we're gonna go out and get ourselves a couple pints of Infinite Athlete after the show, actually. Ruud van Nistelrooy is reportedly on the verge of being the new Leicester City manager. Good choice, Jules.
You see what 4 games at the helm of Manchester United can do for you, Gabby. This is it. I mean, I don't know if it's a good choice. Nobody knows. Yeah, he had a good season at PSV Eindhoven, and they did nothing until those interim 4 games while Ruben Amorim was on his way. And he did well in those 4 games, unbeaten, etc. Blah blah blah. But I don't know.
I if you hired him based on those 4 games, it's wrong. Yeah. It's stupid. It's not how you think. Oh, and by the way, didn't they beat Leicester twice in those 4 games as well? Yeah. Like, oh, look, who's that guy with the long face? Let's go for him.
Yeah.
He looks familiar.
Thank you, Tom.
I'm hoping this was in the process. I'm hoping Leicester are a well-run club with people who know what they're doing.
Would think so.
And he did a search.
You would think so.
But yeah.
Let's see. Referee David Coote, remember him? Already suspended after videos emerged of him saying he dislikes Jurgen Klopp in other terms and snorting some white powder as well. Is in more trouble.
Yeah, so one of the papers here in England reporting that he met somebody online and that to impress this person he met, they had a conversation. He was refereeing a Leeds game. The person said, "Oh, hey, the issue came up. How about you book a player? I think it was Alioski, and whatever." They joke about putting a bet on, And then, afterwards he allegedly texts them and says, "Oh, look what I did. Ha, 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 he, he." Dude, and he's just a statement saying, whatever my personal problems off the pitch, like trying to impress somebody you met online by showing your great power and coolness as a referee, they've never impacted my ability, my job on the pitch. It's entirely possible. It's entirely possible that you are completely blameless on the pitch.
Yeah.
This is now 3 different things that have come up, which
so stupid.
Which the whole issue with referees, you must never be in a position where you can be blackmailable or somehow influenced. I mean, this is ridiculous. Like so we said, his career's over. I feel for him a little bit, but I do question. You have to do your research on these people. You have to know before you go and you promote them through the ranks. It's not just about being able to spot fouls on the pitch. How we could have got this far when clearly he makes such poor decisions outside of his day job.
It's mad. It's mad.
Tottenham kick off against Roma in a few hours in the Europa League. Jules, they'll be without goalkeeper Guillermo Vicario, who we have now learned played more than an hour with a fractured ankle against Manchester City. How impressed are you? Big Ange saying he's hard as nails.
Hard as nails.
And how big a blow is it for Spurs that he'll be out for months?
So that's a massive blow. And they have Fraser Foster. Remember him? The giant, the friendly giant. Who's going to play in goal, who's not very good anymore, obviously. So no offense.
But he's very big.
He's very big, but he's not very good. Funny. He can't go down.
He has a long way when he comes down.
Exactly.
No, but George,
they will sign somebody in January.
You think so?
100%. They can't stay with Fraser Foster.
Well, they said, first of all, they have like Alfie Whiteman and some. They have two other like goalkeepers who are not kids on the bench.
Yeah, but still.
I think it depends how long he's out for, because Ange said, no, it's not weeks, it's months. If it's 2 months, it's one thing. If it's 5 months, it's another thing. Obviously,
of course, but
ankle pretty important to a goalkeeper. But I just think it's funny. Remember all those times like Vicario, like, mean bully types, like say Gabriel go up to him and like harass him on corner kicks and be like, hey, Vicario needs to be stronger. He's too weak. He's not comfortable on crosses. And now all of a sudden he's gone, and all of a sudden, the world falls out. Well, guess what? Fraser Foster won't be bullied by anybody. If Gabriel or somebody else goes and tries to do that, Fraser Foster will turn you into a little puddle of oil.
Yeah. It's better if Fraser Foster can save some shots more than bully people. But hey, whatever works for him. Ajax play Lazio in the Europa League on December 12th. And the mayor of Amsterdam has banned Lazio supporters from traveling from Rome or from wherever they live to Amsterdam, which is not a surprise, but the club is furious.
Yeah, they're really angry also because they put the tickets on sale. This is obviously a reaction, I think, to what happened when Maccabi Tel Aviv came in. There's a political backdrop to this. Lazio described as very right-wing fans.
Yeah.
Complicating this whole thing is, yes, they do have some very right-wing fans who in the past have marred themselves with violence. I'm not sure where this stands vis-a-vis the previous set of fans who are from Israel and therefore Jewish, but whatever, that's a whole other issue. I don't want to get into that. I have to be consistent here. I think a city has to come first. A mayor has a responsibility. If you think that a traveling set of fans is going to create problems for normal people who just want to go to work and come back. I said the same thing when Feyenoord went to Rome. There is a bit of an underlying sort of Holland-Rome thing, really, thing going on. You have to do what's right because you have responsibility to look after people who live in your city. And that, to me, supersedes football. It's time! It's Textor time! Lyon may be facing relegation, but Jules, Botafogo, John Textor's Botafogo, are flying in Brazil. Is it Palmeiras they just beat?
They beat Palmeiras, who is second in the table. They're 3 points clear now with 2 games to go, so they can still blow this one up and bottle it. But it looks very good for them to win the title for the first time in a while. And they also play, obviously, in the Copa Libertadores final this weekend, so they can win the double within a few days, which for John Textor will be pretty special.
Yeah, can I also say something? This whole thing about, obviously he's got a lawsuit going on, so I'm going to be careful what I say here, right? But the implication is that referees are somehow against Botafogo and stuff like that, right? Well, if they're against Botafogo, I think we're seeing this season, or some cynics might say it's because there's a lawsuit going on that Botafogo can be top of the table this year because referees are maybe extra careful not to be against Botafogo. I don't know, but it's remarkable though how some Textor teams do so well and other Textor teams not so much.
Guess who's staying for one last dance in Miami, Gab?
Luis Suarez, that's right. I mean, to me, this was not a surprise. To me, I'm going to be the same way Mascherano, whose the job is now official
now,
not really a surprise. Like it's Lionel Messi decides, and I don't have a problem with it because Lionel Messi represents some crazy percentage of your budget. You've gone all in on this, and it's fine. If you want Luis Suarez there, from purely a football perspective, you'd have to look how much is Luis Suarez costing you? What is he producing? Could there be an alternative elsewhere? And how do you weigh that against Messi being happy and having his friend there? You know what? Messi being happy, probably more important to Miami.
And they're trying to extend Messi's contract as well for after the 2026 World Cup. So he probably will stay as well, no?
Yeah, but if I'm Messi, I don't sign anything. I just wait, right? I mean, and see what frame of mind I'm in.
Yeah,
you've earned that luxury.
Yeah.